Well, we didn't have any relatives go down, you know, and but there was two women. They had beautiful homes, well do, but they met us, and so they had to stay at the house, their house.
I don't know whether Rachel knows the story about.
Wedding cake, great big wedding cake. Yeah. And they stood up for us at the wedding. At the wedding and everything. They were wonderful, great people, wonderful people for everything.
Good.
That was in Iowa, wasn't it?
Huh?
That was in Iowa.
Yeah, Nashville,
Yeah.
Iowa.
Yeah.
Getting down there was a little hairy. We got into, what's that big town in Iowa?
Was it Des Moines or Cedar Rapids or?
Cedar Rapids. We got into Cedar Rapids on a train. She never rode on a train before. Of course, I rode hundreds of times back and forth on a train, but she never rode on a train before. We got into Cedar Rapids about 3:30 in the morning. There wasn't a police car around. There wasn't we had to transfer to the bus from Nashville. We had to go to a bus, but Nashville is a smaller town and everything. And we had to walk, we had to go about 5 blocks. And we had suitcases, and when we got there, that damn train station was full of crud. I mean, real bad crud. It was all winos and all hopped up on marijuana and all stepped up. It wasn't a police car. There wasn't there wasn't anything you could rent to go or anything. We're going to have to walk that. Well, they were really obnoxious and everything. So I told Phyllis to go into the restroom and to stay there until I come and got her. So I went in my restroom and opened my suitcase, and I had my little 2-inch revolver in a case there. So I put that, put it right here back there with my suit covered it. So I got a hold of her, and I had her carry 1 bag, and I was carrying 2 bags. And I said, go out, and we're going to go out in the middle of the street. We're going to walk down that middle of that street. So nobody can get to us close or anything. And we don't have street lights and stuff. So we got out there in the middle of the street, and this one SOB followed us on the sidewalk. And boy, he was really getting the cussing, and he was getting meaner and meaner, and he had a damn knife, and I knew he had a knife because he had it hid back of it. So we walked about a half a block, and he was right there, wasn't going to leave everything there. So he was getting meaner with his language and getting his stuff up. So I got down in a combat crouch position, come out with that gun. And as you step off that sidewalk, partner, you're going to get 3 new belly buttons just as fast as I can pull the trigger. Phyllis didn't know, of course, I had the gun and everything, you know. And I said, you're going to get rid of that damn knife. You bring that knife out, and you hold it by the handle with 2 fingers, and you throw it underhand out there in the middle of the street so I can see it. As you do it now, right now. I says, I'm getting tired of you, and I'm getting tired of your language, and I'm going to put you out of your damn silly living habit just a few seconds. You go screwing with me. But when I come out with that gun, boy, you're coming out in that crouching position there. Boy, when he threw that gun out of there, I says, let's clean out of here. Man, he run like a banshee back there. The fellow says, I didn't know you had that gun. I said, I'm get used to it because I keep a gun everywhere I go.
Wow.
Oh, but that was the only incident down there. When we got down there, we were treated wonderfully. Beautiful little town, not very big, but a beautiful little old town. Great big trees and everything. That old minister, he was quite a guy. Really quite a guy. But anyway, well, Phyllis, she got used to me carrying the gun, having the gun, of course, when I went on the police department and stuff. Why, at first she'd wake up when they call me at night, when they call me out and stuff, and I kept my boots down there so I could jump my boots, and I put my gun belt and handcuffs and all that, hung it up on a hanger up there. The kids never bothered it. But I could jump into my boots and put that thing on and be gone, you know. And sometimes it was that way, you know. But she got used to that and everything. And she worked there. She drove back and forth from Ellenwood to Great Bend to the bank. She worked at the bank there for a good amount of years. And then she got sick, you know, when she got sick and had to have that operation and everything. Why, then when she got well enough, she went back as a high school secretary. She loved it there. The kids all loved her and everything. The teachers all loved her and everything. She worked there 4 or 5 years in that. And of course, so we went to Topeka.
That was in Ellenwood when she was the high school.
Then before we went to Topeka, they just called, Great Bend just called her. And they called the Bank of America there in Topeka. She had a job the next day.
Wow.
And they made her head secretary in there, or head of the operators there. And our office was only down the street a block and a half. And the bank was right on the main avenue there. So, we could both drive to work and everything, you know. But she loved it working there in that school and stuff and everything.
Since it's my birthday, what do you remember about me being born, and where were you, and what do you remember? You weren't allowed in the delivery room like they do now.
No, absolutely wouldn't let me in the delivery room and everything. You were fine. You was a big baby, pretty big baby and everything. You were fine. It was good and everything. They didn't have any problems with the delivery or anything at all.
But you were up at the farm, weren't you, in Trigo County, and
Yeah.
Mom was staying with Grandma and Grandpa Trower?
Yeah,
And
but I went back.
Then you came to the hospital in Great Bend
I come to the hospital in Great Bend.
Yeah.
Then waited, I think probably about a week, and then we went back to took you back to the farm then. Of course, we'd already lost Sharon, you know. We didn't stay very long then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sharon was older, you know, so. And so we lost Sharon. She couldn't live on that farm. Absolutely couldn't take that farm. And
well, and you had that fire. You got burned.
I had scars all over me. Second, third degree burns. All of the hands was completely burnt. Both hands was. Burnt the sweater off me. Had a wool sweater. Burnt my brand new tractor up. I just didn't have it. Just got it the day before.
And how long were you in the hospital? Did they do skin
I
grafts?
was probably in the hospital a month and a half. Then I come out there and I had to bathe. And that dead flesh, we didn't have a bathtub or they had to heat the water on the stove and had one of these big tin. And I'd get in there and she'd heat that water and get in there and then all that old dead skin and slough off and everything, and then medicated it and put it back. I did that for quite a while.
And then you decided to go to Larned, leave the farm, sell the farm, and go to Larned?
Well, I didn't have a choice. She was going to leave. She couldn't stand it. They couldn't stay there without the memory of Sharon and everything. And I had horrible luck with the wheat. First year I had a fairly good crop, about 15 bushel crop. And the next year I had a wonderful crop and everything. 2 days before harvest, a big old hail come down and just hailed it all out. And then the next year I got mosaic in the damn thing. And it was all stunted and not very much.
Yeah.
So,
then you had some milking cows, and you
Dad
had some
gave me,
pigs.
I had four Holsteins and about 25 or 30 purebred shorthorn. And he bought a real high-powered bull calf off of that. They raised those over by Larned and everything. He got a calf, and we used artificial insemination till the bull got big enough. I had things going good. I had 140 acres of grass, and the rest of it was all wheat, and I had 2 half sections rented.
Now, where was your actual farmhouse in Trigo County? Where was it located?
Well, there's a little center there, a church, and a grocery store and stuff. The Trigo Center, they called it Trigo Center. And it was 9 miles west of Trigo Center. It was about 17 or 18 miles into Waukegan.
And then it wasn't too far from Castle Rock, was it?
Well, I farmed it. I had a section up there at Castle Rock. Yeah, Mom used to love to go up there and get those fossils, rocks for those fossils at and stuff. Mom Keeley, and she loved that,
Yeah.
all that.
Yeah. We've got
All
some
those rocks had those old
little shells and
shells
fossils.
and fossils and stuff in them. And, but you know, it was 2,200 feet to water.
Down on a well. It's a long ways.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
deep well.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
And see, I did a lot of my farming at night up there. And I had this big cross one way, 12-foot cross one way. And that patch of, or that ground I had right next to it was a big old pasture and full of groundhogs, ground squirrels,
Prairie dog?
prairie dogs. And that damn prairie dogs they was full of rattlesnakes. So that damn one way gets clogged up, and I go back there and I can hear those damn snakes and yeah. So I carried a big rake. I take a rake and rake the stuff out and clean it out with a rake.
What was the story? At some point, you and Mom considered moving to Australia. Wasn't there some discussion about having a sheep ranch or something in Australia?
Oh, I talked that way sometimes. I did.
It wasn't ever got serious.
No, serious. I didn't serious. Just to get her started.
And then when you moved to Florida, then you worked a little bit in a
I went right
Co-op?
straight to work in the co-op. And went to work at the co-op, and she went to work at the bank. We had big bills. We had the funeral expense, all the funerals on Sharon, all the operation and stuff. The big operation we had to.
You didn't have like health insurance, medical insurance that would cover that
They
stuff.
didn't have insurance up there. We didn't. We couldn't. See, we didn't have electric lights or anything. They had one of those little machines that.
You have a generator or something?
Generator type thing, and glass, and and bulbs come up when it was up. But it only run the lights in the house. And I think we had 2 plug-ins we used for ironing and stuff. But the rest of all the washing had to be done in the wash house and everything.
By hand?
Yeah. And had the garden out there, big garden out there. And our bedroom faced out towards the garden. And every morning I'd open the window there, didn't have the screen on it, and there'd be 2 or 3 big old cock rooster pheasants out there on that there. So I'd always shoot 2 or 3 pheasants there. Yeah, pheasants.
Mom was a pretty good cook, wasn't she?
Huh?
Mom was a pretty good cook?
Of course, yeah, she was a wonderful cook. She loved to cook. She cooked for that whole dad and the kids when they were all up there.
That harvest crew?
Harvest crew and stuff, yeah, she cooked that. Yeah, but, you know, we all like potatoes and gravy and either chicken or pheasant and there was all kinds of jackrabbits up there, young get a half-grown jackrabbits and stuff. So there weren't any deer or anything like that, but
Yeah.
they were, there weren't very too many, there weren't too many ducks or anything. There was a few ponds around, but not very many. Then they put in the big dam up there. We had the big lake up there, but
Cedar Bluff? Or-
Cedar Bluff. Well, we only was only there a couple of years when it was there.
Well, I'm thinking about it. Tell the story about when I crawled under the porch at Grandpa Keeley's house and got bit by Tubby. I got my scar.
Yeah.
Well, I don't remember that at all. What happened on that? Were you there?
That was where the dog lived. It had a hole in the lattice for the porch down there. It had a lattice around there. There was a hole in there, and that's where the dog.
What kind of dog was Tubby? Just a
little white and black
mutt kind of mongrel?
mongrel type dog. It was a nice little dog and everything. Kind of a good hunting dog and everything, but it was in there. You crawled in, and it took you. And time I got a hold of you, I had to crawl in and reach in, get you by the leg, and pull you out. You were bleeding like hell. And we took you to the hospital, had the stitches put in and everything. And I killed the dog.
Yeah, it wasn't really the dog's fault at all. It was my fault.
Yeah, but
So after you were at the co-op a little bit in Larned, then how did you get the job there in Allenwood with the police department?
Well, I got the job there I took care of all the books and everything, and mechanics. They had 3 good mechanics on cockshunt tractors and cockshunt combines, and then they had all kinds of implements, augers, wheat augers, and stuff. And then they had an old man in there, and he was a small engine mechanic. He knew small engine, he was a mechanic, but he was old. But the manager in the front there was all when television first come in, and beds and all kinds of sofas and this kind of stuff. The front of that one, he run that. But he was kind of a chicken shit, just to be sure. He really was. And so we kept a perpetual inventory, So I had cards, and every time they'd get something, well, they'd mark it. They'd bring it up to me, and I'd mark it down there for replacement and send in to Kansas City for the replacements and everything. They also had $6,000 worth of old Model A parts in there. And we got calls a lot of time for old Model A stuff, and I got rid of a lot of that. But see, I got a 5%, anything I sold in there, I got a 5% on it. They had a regular salesman was out in the country and everything. But I sold an awful lot of stuff, appliances and everything. You sell a tractor or combine, you got a pretty good 5%, you got a pretty good little thing and all that other stuff. And of course, all those parts and everything, they come in there. And I had a guess at the harvest time, because a lot of these places off a long ways, Larned was the main place, so I had a guess to have big enough inventory to cover that, but yet not so big that when harvest is over, I had an overabundance of a whole bunch of stuff. So it was a pretty interesting job and everything. I liked it. I liked to be there, and I got to be really good at it and everything. Then my friend, he offered me a lot bigger job to go out to go in with the dry cleaning stuff and everything. And he was a really good friend, and we were good friends and everything. Offered me quite a little bit more money. So I took that, but the head of it, he disliked me. He didn't like me at all. And because I talked back to him, he wanted everybody to knee down and bow to him. I think he was the mayor or something, but anyway. And, well, it's like, what's his name one time? He come in and he jumped, he yelled at me 2 or 3 times, and I said, you don't do that to me. You don't yell at me, you don't holler at me, you talk to me respectfully, and I'll talk back. I said, you do that. And I says, I was in the airborne. And I said, you either go to the damn hospital or you will go to the cemetery. You leave me alone, you understand that? And I said, I'm getting goddamn tired of you picking on that old man, too. I said, you're a bully, and you don't bully me, or you better not quit bullying him. Do you understand that? And I come out around there. Man, I understand that. And I says, you say please and thank you, and show a little damn respect. Well, after that, he left me alone, and he come back and he started getting a little loud, and he turned around, the old man, he turned around, looked at me, and head back to the store, So, I saw an ad in the paper where Allenwood needed a new police officer. So I called up, and I had the flu, and I had to wait a while. But anyway, Les Lloyd come out the farm, interviewed me and everything, and hired me right there on the spot.
Okay. But he wasn't chief, was he?
He was assistant chief.
Assistant chief.
Yeah, the old chief was there. I was there 15 years.
Right.
First 4 years I had it at night.
Right.
And Allenwood was a tough little old oil field town. And
this is what? We had Pam been born, was it 1955, 1956, where it's in there?
yeah. And they had 9 liquor stores in that little town of 15,000.
1,500, you better.
Two big pool halls, 2 nightclubs inside, and 2 nightclubs outside the city limits, everything. And that was almost all run by oil field. They was supposed to be the roughest, toughest people in the world, But they put me out there by myself. So that was interesting. First 2 or 3 years. And like I said, I carried that 8-cell flashlight at night. I had a place to put it on and everything. 2 cells were lead.
What do you mean by that? 2 cells were lead. They weren't real cells.
No, it was
They were
filled
just-
full of lead.
Just lead
Just lead.
for weight.
Wait,
Okay.
and take the hand and boom. And I got real good at reaching down and hitting them on the kneecap, or hit them in the, poke them in the solar plexus. Then when they come down, well, they got the finish on top of the head. And of course, went into a nightclub this one time. Went into this nightclub. They had a big fight going on in the nightclub in there. And this one big old boy, he was going to take me on. And I just walked in there and pulled that gun, cocked it there. I said, I don't think you really want to do that, do you? You're allowed to set this thing off. So you put your hand, you turn around, put your hands behind your back. Boy.
What
But
was
then we had an understanding with them. They didn't call us unless they really needed us.
Who didn't call?
The manager,
Oh,
he didn't call us if they didn't really mean that. And if they wouldn't, somebody was getting too drunk or something, they cut them off. And we had a good deal then. The nightclub outside was, the old gal owned it. She was, her sister was Rip Voss's sister. Rip Voss was the chief of police. He was a World War I veteran, rough type thing. And, of course, in those days, you could protect yourself. You didn't have to worry about lawyers, you know. And so, that went out there. I remember one New Year's Eve I went out there. I got a call. And that place was full. And a lot of rich people that come from Kansas City and around, ever had a heck of a reputation there. So I walked in there, and everybody was blowing whistles and had their silly New Year's hats on. And I walked in there. I told her to take me over to the guy who wanted to arrest him. Oh, she wanted me to rest and everything. It started a couple fights 2 or 3 times. So on the way there, they would blow those things in my ear and this type of thing. I just walked on through there. And I walked up to him, and I says, you're under arrest. He signed a complaint on you. You have to turn around, put the cuffs on you. Well, you blah, 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 blah. I said, now, wait a minute, you don't know me. You don't have any reason to call me that. And I says, there's 2 ways you can go. I don't care. It's indifferent to me. You can walk out of here or you can get carried out. One or the other. So there was a guy over there, he says, let me talk to him. He talked to him a bit. The guy got up, turned around. I cuffed him, took him out.
what was the one where you had called in for some backup, and they basically said you're on your own?
Oh, that was Rip Voss. I hadn't been on 2 weeks. And See, I never had any law enforcement background. I went to that academy, went there, all that stuff. But anyway, I went down to this one nightclub and everything. At that time, the highway had deep bar ditches on each side. Well, the nightclub, this guy was drunk, and he backed up into that ditch, and he couldn't, he was high-centered like that. So what they did, they got chains, and they put a chain on the front of it, another car pulled him out, helped pull him out.
This is on the highway.
This is on the highway. And lo and behold, here come a car about 60 miles an hour right between them. And hit that, it was a heavy chain, pulled them all together. And there was a fight going on out there in the parkway. So I called up dispatcher and I says, get a hold of the chief and tell him I need some assistance out there. I got a 3-car 1047 or possibly 1048, that's mean non-injury or injury. And I said, I'm sure I got some 1046s, which is drunk driving. And waited a little bit. Then the dispatcher called back and he says, Chief advises we run the town like the Texas Ranger. One ranger for one ride.
You're on your own.
Well,
take care of
the
it.
sheriff's office heard it, and the highway patrol was out there, and they come in and saved my bacon, of course.
There was 1 or 2 times you had Mom out there helping you on some
One
female.
time.
One time.
One time. That I never did use her again. I took one over to Great Bend too. I needed a matron, but anyway, yeah, they had this mother and daughter prostitute come out of Chicago, and they worked themselves in coffee. And the gal, the mother, she worked on the older oil field people around there. And the girl, she went into the high school. I went into the, I said, I got a call from the theater, it says come down there, that she's taking on, she's getting out for high school kids and everything, 3 or 4 hours and everything. So I went down there and got her. And I took her up to the police car, police station. And I called Phyllis to come up. I told Phyllis to search her. Phyllis couldn't hardly, you know, she searched her, everything. And she went home, she just kept taking showers and baths. Next morning, I found a switchblade knife under the chair.
From this girl?
Yeah. But anyway, it was a tragedy type thing. They, 2 days later, two or 3 days later, I had it was a nighttime, and we had this real nice guy that worked down at the co-op there, and he was a real nice guy. He had a wife and 2 kids, nice kids and everything. But they found him, well, the sheriff's office got the call, and old Sam, supposed to be the Great Bend detective and everything. Well, he went out there. This guy had taken a bag of cyanide they dust the wheat with, weevils and stuff like that. It's deadly poison. He dug a hole in the ground and put his face down in that cyanide. Of course, he's deader than a dick'em. Sam went out there. He was a rigor mortis and everything. But he just picked him up, put him in the back seat, and his feet was sticking out. And he called me about 3 o'clock in the morning, because I had a key to the mortuary. He said he wanted me down to the, behind the mortuary, put this guy in there. So I went down there and I looked at him, I said, Sam, did you call the, did you call the what do you call them? Coroner. Did you call a coroner or anything? No. I said, Sam, you're supposed to call a coroner. That's what you're supposed, what the law says, that's what you're going to do. I said, you're on your own. I said, I'm not going to unlock that damn door. You're on your damn own. You're going to have to take it to the Great Bend. Because I'm not going to help you out. If you're going to obey the damn law here, you should get the coroner. And I couldn't figure out why he hated himself so much that he would do something like that. Couldn't understand that. So I thought maybe he had some kind of a disease, deadly disease or something like that and everything. So I went down to the doctor and asked him. He said, no, he didn't have any disease, Pat. He didn't have any deadly disease. He got syphilis from his mother. And when he got syphilis from his mother, and I said, I wonder how many other syphilises we got around here. But anyway, he told me, don't you tell, I'm not supposed to, divulge that. And I said, well, it's you and me. Between you and me, we'll, But I said, I had to find out why he do that and everything. Because the family cannot they're completely, So anyway, I couldn't get anybody to sign a damn complaint against him. So anyway, I called the county attorney and everything. He says, bring them over.
The mother and daughter?
Yeah, so I did. That's the last I saw them. Yeah. Because he was going to take him and have him, I'm sure he did. He took him into the doctor and had him examined and this, that, but that little town had more damn suicides than any town. I had 5 suicides in 1 week one time. A lot of them were from Great Bend or something like that.
You had a couple of murders, didn't you?
I had 2 or 3 murders. At that town festival, one time, at that town festival, or harvest festival, how they was all drinking. They'd buy a bottle of Coke and then pour half alcohol in it and stuff, and it was wild and everything. I walked up Main Street there, and this woman met me. They lived up above the store, in an apartment up there. And she met me at the door, and she had a 12-gauge shotgun. She says, here, Pat, he says, I just shot Henry. And I says, you did? I says, Well, he said he was drunk and slapped me around. I got tired of it. He said, so I shot him. Well, I said, is he dead? He said, he's dead, I'm pretty sure. So I grabbed the shotgun, ran upstairs, looked. She stood at the foot of the bed and shot him right straight in the face.
He was dead. Then I remember when I was going to high school, you had that guy that ran over the kid that was out on track, and you figured out and caught him. The guy that ran over that kid out there by the theater.
Well, what happened with that? Yeah, he's a real nice kid.
Yeah, wonderful.
Really nice kid, track kid. And Jack had those kids running out to the airport and back.
Yeah, Jack Bowman, the track coach. Yeah, I did that too.
Yeah. Well, this kid was running out to the airport, and this kid dropped out. He'd been down there drinking beer all day.
The other kid.
The other kid. And he deliberately swerved over and hit this kid and run right straight over the back of him, from head to foot. Hell, he had the tire marks and everything. I went out there on that road where he was hitting, and the outdoor theater was there. There's a woman there.
Hello. Is this Ed Keeley? Is this Pat? Doing good here with Dad. We're just telling stories. We're thinking about you guys down there. You're out hunting or fishing today, fishing tournament? Okay. Dad wanted to just say hi. We're hoping to maybe make a trip down there in April sometime.
How you doing, Patrick? No, for 87,